Hello, familia. Welcome. My name is MagdalineJanet. If you are new, welcome to the fam. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because we're always here having a good time. And come visit me on TikTok and Insta because I'm there daily. And of course, welcome back to my oldies but goodies. Familia, so I heard you guys, you wanted to see a comparison. Let me get organized. It's Monday and I'm just like discombobulated. I swear Mondays, when I wasn't full-time content creating, I was like, oh, every day is gonna be the same. No, Mondays is still like a Monday. You know, it's still busy. It's still like I'm running around like a bat out of hell. Anywho's, what was I saying? Yeah. You guys wanted to see this review, a comparison versus the Dior Backstage Foundation. This is the new one, the reformulated one. This is the original. Even the bottle's a little bit more matte. The original is no longer available. I can't find it anywhere. So this is going to be more a video for reference. This one is available on Dior's website and Sephora. We're going to do an all-day wear test. We're going to do halvesies so we can see how it works. Maybe it's the same. Maybe it's different. Maybe just the bottle change. Who knows? Talking about the bottle, like the new one, you see the Dior logo smaller versus the old one is bigger, like the D, and it's like lowercase, and here's caps. And then the bottle here is matte, which is the old one, and this one you see it's a little shiny, like the same info in the back. With the new one, I purchased the shade 3N because that's my perfect shade. When I bought the original, I bought 2.5N because I wasn't sure what my shade was, to tell you the truth, and Dior foundations oxidize in general. Let me wash my hands, they feel dirty. Okay, so I'm gonna prime. You guys know this is my latest obsession, the MAC primer, because it's matte and I have oily skin. Oh, before primer, I did my skincare. I put my moisturizer, sunscreen, eye cream, all that. I always list my skincare in the description box, and I owe you a skincare routine. I'm gonna do it. I promise. So you always want to let your primer sink in and dry down for a little bit. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, so here we are. So the new is gonna go with the side with piercings. The old, no piercings, just so we know. Let me swatch them. The old one will be closest to my thumb. This is the shade 2.5. Let me touch. A lot of you guys were saying that it's not a different foundation in finish. It's just reformulated. Let's see, because I remember the original is more matte. It dries matte, not super matte, matte-ish. Okay, the new one, how does it feel versus the old one? They honestly feel the same. So this is old, this is new. Texture's the same, feels the same. Because I know a lot of times when brands reformulate, they like change the whole thing. And we don't like that. You know, sometimes like don't fix it if it ain't broke. The new one is shade 3N. This is 2.5. You can see the slight difference. And 3 is more my shade. I'm kind of happy they feel the same. I wasn't sure if they were going to. I'm gonna keep these swatch on my hand so we can see how it dries down. What I'm gonna do is apply both sides because the primer is nice and dried down. As I do that, I'm gonna give you info about it. I only have the info of the new one, so it's gonna relate to both sides. Okay. Let's start. The Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation retails for $43. It comes in 50 shades. I'm in the shade 3N. This is a hydrating foundation that delivers buildable coverage for the face and body that resists heat, humidity, and leaves a luminous makeup look. The highlighted ingredients is squalene and hyaluronic acid. The coverage is medium. The finish is natural. It is available at Sephora. All right. Here, let me get my lips right. Immediately. The original has a major perfumey scent versus this one has no scent. The new one, as you can see, the shade is much better. It's my shade. The old one, it's lighter. And you see what I saw applying it, this one doesn't apply as smoothly. Granted, this is older. This is about a year old. I don't think it's expired quite yet. Most makeup expires honestly, within 6 months to like 2 years. So it all really depends. Once you open makeup, that's kind of when the time starts ticking. Applying this one, I don't feel like it's as pigmented, and I can see that it's drying down more on the mattified side versus here, you can even see it. it. Look, we have the same primer underneath. We got the hydration going, which with the new one. We have some hydration, but you see how it's not as hydrating as this side? It has more of a mattified down thing, but it's not matte though. It's kind of like in between. The old one falls more hydrating matte. The new one's more hydrating luminous or luminous hydrating. And you can just visibly see it. Let me turn off the lights so look. Here is the old. Here is the new. They both look really good. And then let's see the center of the face. Yeah, you can see. Let's disregard the color, the shade. You see, it's dry down here versus here it just looks wet, which is cool. Like, that's what I saw when I reviewed it, but I'm like, dang, I haven't really used this one in a while. So I'm like, wait, am I remembering? But yeah, I remembered correctly. Hydrating dry, this is like straight wet. But it's 6:47. You guys know we're gonna do an all-day wear test. I wanna see how this dries down a little longer. Let's wait about 10 minutes to see how it dries down without adding powders or anything. And yeah, let me see the swatches too while we're at it. This is the old one. This is the new one. They're still very much hydrated, yeah, and wet. Swatches look good, but on the face, it's different, you know? Okay, BRB. All right, fam, it is 7 o'clock. Ooh, she's dried here. Like dry, okay? Not dry. You see, there's a difference, okay? Let's look at the swatches. Swatches again. This one feels like a little dry. This is the old. Swatches just feel the same though. This is dry, yeah, it's not like going anywhere. Couldn't even see here, we got hydration going. But you know what? You know what? Let's build. This is old. Build a little here. Like, look, it looks darker now than what's on my skin. Let me put some of the new one in this corner. Now that I'm kind of applying it, it does feel a little more glidey. I don't even think it's like an oldie but goodie anymore because it's like no longer available. Which one did I apply first? This one, right? Kind of how they did Lancome, where it's like one day we had the Tint Idol original one, and then the next day it was literally gone with the new one. We were like, wait, what happened here? The shade 2.5 is so light. Anytime I apply foundation, you guys see I work it in with my hand and then I tap it in with a brush or a sponge. You can honestly use either or. If I want my foundation to like really last and look bomb all day, I'm gonna push it in with the brush. If I'm in a rush or something, a sponge is gonna be that girl. And that's just how it is. You add concealer, get rid of these ojeras because I'm looking like low-key Beetlejuice on this side, and I'm back. Alright fam, I'm gonna set the skin with this Lorac pink setting powder. Really work it in because we're working kind of with hydrated yet matte foundations. You know, we just not trying to look gastadas at the end of the day. Yeah, old feels dry, new feels kind of hydrated. Yeah. Now let's look with powdered down. Here's the old one. Here's the new. Center. Looking at it, I feel like it just looks better. I don't know if I'm liking just that hydrated look slightly better than the mattified look because feeling it, yeah, this one feels slightly more on the matte side. Not really dry matte, but comparing it to something hydrating, it feels dry, you know? Let me add bronzer, blush, do all that, speed it up, and then I'll be back because, yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling some things here. All right, familia, I'm back. Finished up the face. Skin's looking good. Here is the new. Here is the old one. Let's see. The original one is just matte. It doesn't look dry, but it's matte. Versus the new one, Hydrating Goddess. You know what I mean? Oh wait, let me fix this. And let me see the center. Here in the older one, you can kind of see the dryness that creates a little bit of texture. Not too much, but enough to tell. Versus here, because it's hydrating, you don't really see much. Hold on, I smeared my mascara here. Okay, so I see the slight difference. Like I told you guys, this one is more matte. As you can see, it did dry down more to a matte finish. I would call it maybe a satin matte versus this is just hydrating all along. I feel like it's adaptable. You can use less setting powder and it'll give you more of a luminous look versus the way I did it. I put a good amount of setting powder that gives you more of a mattified look. For me, I like that look, and it also lasts a little bit longer because I do have oily skin and we wear our makeup for a long time, all day, you know? Of course, we're gonna do an all day wear test. I'm gonna go in front of the window so you guys can see how things look. This is my lip combo, NYX in Teddy Fluff, and then this one's been my favorite, Tower 28 Draw Me. Oh, look at lighting, you guys. Here is the old foundation, the matte. Damn, this looks so smooth. You see that? Versus the new and maybe improved hydrating luminous side. You can tell here, this is new, old. I didn't put any highlight on. You guys know I like to be super simple, especially because I have oily skin. My skin's gonna naturally highlight. Here's new and here's old. Damn, old looks smoother now. You see that? Matte kind of gives you this like flawless look. Lumi products will kind of accentuate texture a little bit, not a lot. Here, I feel like you can see it. Oh yeah, I love daylight. Let me know what you think. Okay, yeah, I'm back. Ooh, it is 7 o'clock, you guys. We've had these foundations on all day, but you know, I got some footage for you midday to show you how the skin was looking. On the left side, it's the original side, the side that's a bit more matte. You guys, this side is much more smoother. You see how beautiful it looks? Oh my gosh. And then the other side is the new. You can see a little bit of texture because of the hydration that we talked about earlier. It doesn't look bad, but there is a clear difference. I believe it's been like 12 hours. Look, skin's looking good, especially the old side. Look at the old side. You see how mattified it still is, even though the foundation has been on my skin for 12 hours. A little bit of shine there, a little bit of texture. Everything else looks super smooth, right? Here's the new one. The texture, you can see my pores, it goes out a little further out than here. It's much more glowier. You can see it here and here. Is it a bad thing? No, but that is a clear difference that these foundations are slightly different. Because look, dang, I really love the original. It definitely is giving us that slight matte look, especially if you have oily skin. It holds things together a bit longer. Is the new one bad? Not at all. Like I told you guys, this one is not available anymore. It just kind of was replaced by the new one. So if you have the old one, hold on to it. Because girl, look. Gastada, not here. Here a little bit. Unfortunately, they kind of changed the formula. But let's tap and see. Once we tap, it won't be much of a difference just because we're soaking up that first layer of oils. And I just use a sponge. You can use a blotting sheet. You could use whatever you have. Here is the old. Here's the new. You still see the textures a little bit. Not the textures, my pores. There's a difference. I like the original better for oily skin. The only option we have right now is the new one. The new one is not bad. It just gives us more of a glowy look. What I would suggest is to use a matte primer like we use and just a setting powder, maybe a little bit of foundation powder to really hold it a little bit better. Always an extra step. I don't do that when I do foundation reviews, so you can see how it just looks when I set with setting powder. Thank you guys so much for asking me to compare both of these. Do you have the original? Are you gonna get the new one? What are your thoughts on the reformulation? And thank you so much for hanging out with me and spending a little bit of your day with me and for asking me to do this. I love you guys so much. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, click the button right there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.